works. And the advantage here, I used to record when I was living in Vancouver. Laura and I were typically living in small condos, with hundreds of people in the building, and everybody's all kind of tight, and it changes your sound. You don't just belt out whatever you want, make all kinds of noise and screeching amps. I mean, I live on a farm now, and I have all this wide open space, and my neighbors are noisy. There's a highway there at the top of the driveway, and it's I wake up to bleating sheep and crowing roosters every morning now, and so I could just make however goddamn much noise I want, inside or out. Sometimes I'm just out in the yard and I'll just belt out my songs. And I've got a guy set up a workshop here, so he's often running a saw, and so I have a lot more freedom to record at home than I used to when I lived in the city in small apartments. And the neighbors were always in the back of my mind, and so I think that's kind of the reason why we have this sound in a lot of pop music coming out today, where it's sort of whispery voices, because everybody's trying to keep piped down because they got neighbors, right?
That's it. The only reason they're whispering in pop songs is because they're fucking neighbors. Yeah.
That's my theory.
I love that theory. That's the best theory. Yeah, listen, I'm gonna pop in and see the comments because I'm at the missing out. And if you have fair play, Elena Duff's shared your website there, so fair play to Elena.
Thank you, Elena.
Laura says Ohan Vandermeer is the mastering dude.
Yes, Ohan. Ohan Vandermeer.
Also, I missed that when you were talking about Sturgill. Laura said Ray McNally, so maybe that's somebody that Laura doesn't like, is Ray McNally. I don't know. And
what? You kind of cut out there, Keith.
I don't know. Ray McNally. Did you hear that name before?
He's a friend. Yeah, he's a friend of mine, and yeah, he's a. I used to be in a band.
You're talking about him being like a good musician now, because I think that was part of TJ's question.
Ray? Oh no, Ray's a wonderful musician. Oh no, he's one of my favorite songwriters.
Yeah, just making sure. Don't blame me. That's TJ's fucking question. So and who else do we have in? So so Laura thing. Keith asked Grant about being sheriff back in the day. So you were sheriff back in the day.
Well, I convinced my neighbor that I was. I didn't mean to convince him. I tried to explain to him what I was doing for a living, which was serving papers, and that's not the same thing as being a sheriff or a bailiff. He kept saying, "Is that like being a bailiff or a sheriff?" And I kept trying to explain it. Every time I'd see him, he's like, "Oh, it's the sheriff." Oh, and he just, I was an older fella. I guess he just decided that I was the sheriff. And so, he was a good neighbor to have, because we lived on the end of a cul-de-sac in those days. This is 10 years ago, and we were brewing. We had a band set up in the basement, as well as a little brewery set up. So we were brewing beer, and our band is called the Copper Stills, and so we had a couple of actual copper stills, and which we made all kinds of interesting things with, and we'd bring those are part of our stage props too. So when we do shows, typically we'd bring both the stills with us, and we just set them up on the stage, and just sort of old moonshiners or whatever. And we were doing like lots of different kinds of music. Actually, we weren't really any sort of set genre, and we were very kind of open-ended in as to who would play with us. But I remember the first time that we played the Legion here in Roberts Creek, as we were setting up, we brought the stills into the Legion, and the president of the Legion saw us doing this, and he started freaking out. Whoa, you can't bring those moonshine stills in here, we'll get shut down, right? And I don't know what sort of bullshit we told him. Was oh no, we're not making moonshine with these. We make perfume with these, just perfume. If the inspector comes in here, it's just going to see this just used for making perfume. No problem. It's like, all right, all right. Anyway, the president of the Legion later went on to join our band, became our drummer, and we were loading those stills into the Legion the whole time. We did probably a dozen shows there, right?
And I am nearly refusing you in with them, and now he has to fucking carry them on stage.
Yeah, now we make him carry him in. Right.
That's brilliant. Ray McNally's in watching. Sorry,
right.
Ray. Listen, I just had to apologise. I seen Laura tagged Ray for that, and when you were answering that question, I seen that name pop up by Laura, so that's where I made the mistake.
Ray was in that band too. Ray was
in that band,
yeah.
That's brilliant. Listen, we'll probably get Ray on sometime to talk about music too if he's available. So, listen, if there's any musicians out there that want to be interviewed like Grant is here, just drop a message to myself, Laura, or TJ, and we'll put you in the right direction. So listen, I'm going to get on to the real questions because we have about 5 or 10 minutes left. So listen, what kind of shampoo do you use in your hair? Because I'm quite jealous. I'm starting to lose my hair. It's starting to get a bit thin. So
I don't think there's a shampoo that will replace your lost hair, Keith.
Yeah, I know. I'm just looking at it. So it looks so strong and luscious, like
I thought I would wear my hair down because I knew that you liked my hair.
I know. I'm jealous as fuck. I swear to God. I know. So, listen. What you were telling me that you were back gigging soon?
Oh yeah, I'll be playing on Saturday at the Seashell Artisan and Farmers Market, which is a big outdoor market. They shut down the main drag, and the vendors set up. They give me a tent and a spot, and I sell my CDs, and I have my case open. Like I say, they actually pay me to be there, and then I collect tips on top of that. So it's
brilliant.
Yeah.
So listen, because like you're somebody who doesn't really do the live gigs on Facebook. You don't do any of this thing. So you've probably, and there is a lot of musicians kind of like you, and there is a lot of musicians that it's not that you don't take to the techno, you just don't want it, don't like it. So it's been very hard for you, especially as being like a performer that loves the physical interactions.
Yeah, well, 2020 started off, really promising. I had the year already pretty much booked, like almost straight through the year. I had sort of regular shows. Certain restaurants would hire me every Wednesday, certain markets every Wednesday or every Saturday, and I get once a month at the Beer Farm, once a month at the Legion, maybe somewhere, and also I was running sound at one of the arts and crafts fairs in Seashell, which is a really that was a really lucrative gig for me because they pay sound engineers much better than they pay musicians, and I got to be both. So, but I lost all that. Just a few of the farm market gigs have come back. I've got I think 3 more bookings till the end of June, and I've done 3 or 4 already this year. So that's a really light schedule for me. Like I was doing 8-10 shows a month, and and here in a small this community is maybe 30,000 people, and to get out of it you have to take a ferry. So it's we're kind of isolated here, but there's a real talent pool here. Not just a talent pool, but the people here just love music. They love live music, and it's a way that we really connect as a community. We go out to dances, right? And we go out when we go out for dinner at a restaurant. Some of us go pick the restaurant because they know there's going to be live music there. So we have this kind of culture here where it allows me to kind of stay put. I don't have to. It's expensive for me to take the ferry over, do a show in Vancouver, and stay in a hotel. I mean, there's now at the far end of the road
that you don't get you wouldn't be making money because you'd be spending it on the travel. So there's no
it's not worth it. It's not worth it, right? I mean, I could, theoretically I could stay with friends, make some arrangements like that. But it's a pain in the ass if I can just stay here, and there's a hotel at the far end of the road here. It's about over an hour's drive from here. It's the other end of the coast where there's also a ferry over there that takes you to another part of the province. But there's a hotel there that has a pub, and it's far enough away from my house that they do give me a room as part of the deal. They're very generous, and so they pay me a good amount just to do a couple hours, maybe 3 hours if it's busy, and to give me a meal, drinks, hotel room. Bob's your uncle. So I haven't got that show back. They've changed their management, and I don't even know if they're doing live music in the pub right now. The weather's just starting to warm up, so there's no indoor dining right now around here. So every eating establishment and pub has a sort of a makeshift patio of some kind. The rules and regulations have been slackened a little bit to allow these kind of sidewalk patios and stuff like that. But not a lot of live music has returned so far. For me, it's just
which is great. Saturday is looking up for you. Well, I just want to let you know that personally, I know you just listening to what you said earlier about your band wanting to play this Irish pub in Canada. Well, I'm going to put out an invitation that next St. Patrick's Day, if you can, I have a room for you and Laura to stay in. If you come over here, I'll personally get you a gig in a pub in Ireland, in Dublin, for St. Patrick's Day. So if the invitation only expires in 2 years, so you have either next Paddy's the year after, and then the invitation expires. But the invitation is there for yourself and Laura. Come over and stay in my home, and I'll get you to play a gig in a pub in Dublin. So
both of us have always wanted to go to Ireland. So
there's the invitation. And that'll cut out paying for a hotel or anything like that. And I'll be our personal guide for the week. So